Hello, it is Wednesday, December 13th, 2023. I'm Chris Remo, welcome back to the New York Times Crossword Daily Solve. It's a Wednesday crossword, which means we're going to be solving a midweek, mid-difficulty themed puzzle. And this midweek, mid-difficulty theme puzzle has been brought to us by Adam and Annette Noble, Noah Bezanson, Alan Blunder, and as always, the indomitable Showmaster and the incredible Horan family. So thank you so much to the five of them. They are, of course, benefactors of the Daily Solve Patreon campaign, which means they are responsible for sustaining this channel, keeping this whole series going. I'm very grateful to them for that. And thank you as well to everybody who's a patron of the Patreon campaign at any level. I really do appreciate it. It really does keep this thing alive. So thank you for that. And if you'd like to sustain the channel in that way, you can head over to patreon.com/dailysolve or click the link in the description field underneath the video. And there are, of course, the bonus videos available to patrons. And that does now include the most recent and slightly overdue mini puzzle pseudo speed solve. So do check that out. That was a particularly rushed edition. I've been rushed this week in general. And unfortunately that remains true today just due to various timing factors. So we'll see how this midweek puzzle goes. In any case, thank you to all of the patrons. And thanks if you've subscribed to the channel on YouTube. That's a big help as well. Consider liking the videos, maybe even commenting on them if you feel moved to do so. And finally, there is the Daily Solve Discord chat server, which you can join via a description field link as well. It's a nice friendly chat community over there. All right, let's get on to the crossword. This is a construction by the experienced constructor Alex Eaton Solners, who's responsible for more than, I think, 60 puzzles on the New York Times. And it was edited, as always, by Will Shorts. It's a midweek, mid-difficulty puzzle, and it will have a theme. A Wednesday puzzle will be themed, so let's find out what it is. Let's start solving. To weirdly put one foot in front of the other, maybe to plod along. Let's look at the downs and see. Furrow former. You could plow your furrow. That's a phrase that has agricultural meaning, but also used in a kind of metaphorical way. Cray. Loco? Okay, there we go, yes. I was wondering if this was going to be some kind of pun involving a crayfish and cray meaning crazy, but no, I don't think so. It's just cray meaning, sort of a bit bananas. And here we have loco to be a synonym of that from the Spanish. All right, exert oneself until there's nothing left. Over work, maybe? Could be the answer. I'm not certain. Let's look at the crosses. Emotion indicated by the emoticon, the little heart emoticon, would be the emotion love. That would make sense. And then to sprint at top speed would be to, not sure. What about this? Co-op responsible for more than 2/3 of cranberry production in North America. Right, it must be Ocean Spray. I didn't know Ocean Spray was a co-op. So I guess that means that they're sort of collectively owned. That's interesting. I had no idea. And I guess they make most of the cranberries. I didn't know that either, but I suppose it makes sense, I guess. There aren't very many cranberry products, really, are there? So I suppose if you sell cranberry-based juices, you'd be a big part of it. Sprint at top speed. I don't know why I still can't see this. Here we have phrased, if you phrased something a certain way, you worded it that way. And then a vet's affliction could be, so this would be a military veteran. So in this case, anyway, post-traumatic stress disorder could afflict someone who's seen combat, for instance. Feature of some genes, a rip? It could be the answer. But let's keep going. Aquatic propeller, an oar, so you could propel a boat with oars. And bosses for TAs, so these would be teaching assistants at a university, so profs, professors. So it is RIP. There we go. Foamy iced drink. A frappe? That's something. That's a sort of foamy iced drink, I think, a frappe. Couldn't tell you exactly what it is. I think I've looked this up before. I think it has a Greek origin, actually, strangely, that drink. Yeah, anyway. Shiny headgear, a tiara, kind of, sort of slightly less than a crown, I suppose. Right of approval could be say so. Do we think that's it? You're given the right of approval. You're given the say so. I think that's probably the answer. What about this PS? Oh, yes. Okay. Book of Hymns would be Oh no, it's not Psalms. What is it? What am I missing? I was thinking Psalms in the Bible, but maybe it isn't that. I guess that isn't. I guess what this probably means is a hymnal. In a church or something, you'd have a book of hymns from which you sing. Not a missal. I'll probably recognize it when I see it, but I can't think right now. Beats by Blank audio brand. Oh, right. This is the Apple-owned brand, Beats by Dre. So this is not overwork. Exert oneself until there's nothing left. Overdo it? Yeah, that's probably a tighter match even. So that works well. Can I finally get sprint at top speed? A dead run. There we go. I kept thinking of this as being a verb to sprint at top speed, but in this case, I don't think you would use it that way. You wouldn't say, I'm going to dead run. That would be strange. But you could say, she broke out in a dead run. She broke out in a sprint at top speed. So it's a noun. There we go. Always helpful to remember to think of words, different parts of speech, different ways that the definition could be used in a sentence or that the clue could be. Need I say more is a phrase. And hog heaven, cloud nine. There we go. These are two ways to refer to a sort of ideal or incredibly enjoyable situation. Resumes, for short, could be CVs, curriculum vitae. So CVs would be more often how you'd refer to them, for instance, here in the UK, as opposed to resumes, which is more kind of North American. All right, pathway for oxygenation. A vein, oxygen carried by blood, for instance. All right, strung blossoms could be a lei, so a Hawaiian flower garland strung around your neck. And make yourself comfortable, you might say to someone. Sit, enjoy. Tech product that's promised but never delivered. That is right. So we're not looking for a specific product here. We're looking for a kind of category applied to product announcements, which is vaporware, which is what is a word used to describe exactly what this says. Something's been announced and then it just sort of goes on and on and on and never actually comes out. It's just vaporware. All right, demarcated places. Areas, I suppose? Is that too vague? I mean, it's plausible. I mean, a place that is demarcated by some boundary would be an area, I suppose. Just areas is such a vague word, but I think it might be the answer. Yeah, okay, so makes could be earns, as in makes money, earns money. Connector of bedrooms, a hallway? I mean, that would apply to any room, potentially, not just bedrooms. So is there a more specific thing I'm not thinking of? I mean, that WA makes me think this is hallway. Let's look at the crosses. Macbeth trio, the three hags, there we go, often referred to as the three witches. Bubble, bubble, toil and trouble, etc. Hit 2009 film with a hit 2022 sequel. Oh, right. Must be Avatar. I've never actually seen either of these, but I certainly am aware they exist because they were very, very highly promoted. London-based cosmetics company. Is Avon based in London? I didn't know that, if so. But it must be the answer, surely, with that AV. Okay, so, yeah, didn't know that. Local to where I am. Rule is to govern. Right, okay, so this is a rule. Once again, my first thought here was that this was a noun, but in fact, it is a verb, so kind of the opposite of what I was doing with that other clue, but it's the same idea, which is that you should be careful not to assume part of speech, because many words can be a noun or a verb, or sometimes even an adjective or an adverb. All right, so to rule is to govern. Hot stuff is lava. There we go. And traps for the unwary are snares. Oh, a psalter. There we go. Book of hymns. Yes, okay. I do recognize that now that I see it, but yeah, not a word that enters into my vocabulary very frequently. So there we go. That's what it was. As of now could be yet. This hasn't happened as of now. It hasn't happened yet. And let's see. Makes a play for, vies for. You sort of attempt something. Like the sentiment of a drop acid, not bombs poster. That would be an anti-war poster. Okay, wants, desires. There we go. And that could be a verb or a noun. You could refer to your wants as a noun, or you could say she wants that, she desires it. Speak easy fear could be, my thought was a bust or cops or something, because the speakeasy was an unlicensed alcohol serving establishment during the period of Prohibition in the United States. So I was thinking, a bust or the law enforcement entering would be the fear, but I'm not sure. Not sure. I'm pretty sure desires is correct. To handle the bill would be to pay at a restaurant, say. And a Keystone State eponym, I think Pennsylvania is the Keystone State. Oh, and so the eponym, its founder, is it William Penn, I believe? So there we go. The eponym, in other words, namesake, essentially. All right, well, there we go. I think that is Pennsylvania. And then pallid, if you have a pallid complexion, you have a wan complexion. I think we've had ashen a couple of times in recent days, although some of those might have been in the plus word now that I think about it. In any case, same idea, kind of pallid, wan, ashen complexion. Speakeasy fear. Arrayed, there we go. So bust I was on the right track with bust, but I needed a different word. I needed a synonym of that, in this case, raid. All right, business generating partner at a law firm. Business generating partner. A main something? And that's being referenced now by our revealer, which I didn't actually even notice on the other ones. Which ones are they? Oh, right. Cloud9 was the first one that triggered it. Interesting. So natural process suggested by the... but why don't... That's funny. This one doesn't... Oh, no, never mind. No, it did highlight it in yellow. I don't know why I thought it didn't. Okay, there we go. Cloud... Oh, spray, vapor... Or no, ocean, spray, vapor, cloud. There's something there with vapor, cloud, that kind of thing. Anyway, natural process, is it sublimation or something? Natural process suggested by the starts of 17, 24, 26, 45, and 47 across. So it is the start, so it's not spray. So ocean, vapor, cloud, rain, and then what is this one? It might make or break a hand in Texas Hold'em. A something card. I'm not sure. I don't know enough poker terminology to immediately run through some possibilities in my head. Okay, but what did this say again? Natural process suggested by the starts. Ocean, vapor, cloud, rain. I mean, these are all bodies of water. Oh, I don't know. I can't think. What about this one again? Business generating partner at a law firm. Rain. Interesting. I don't know. Not sure. A rainmaker? Is that? I think that sort of sounds like this person makes the rain. They kind of make things happen. They generate business. I think that's probably the answer. I don't know this phrase necessarily, but I think I've kind of heard variants of it used in the sense of saying someone makes the rain. Similar phrase like someone makes the political weather, that kind of thing. I think it's probably the answer. Let's look at the crosses. Latin singer Anthony, Mark Anthony, with a C, I believe. 1979 Robert John hit that repeats, I don't want to see you cry. Not sure. Act on prompting from. Not sure about that either. And the number on a birthday card, your age. Whoops. Speakeasy, basically, there we go, would be a bar. So we've got two speakeasy references today. And Q key neighbor would be tab. We'll just glance down at the keyboard to confirm, and that is true. To put money on something would be to bet on it, and that parenthetical bit on there means we're going to apply that on to both the answer and to the clue and the answer. So put money on, bet on. Simple as that. Long drawn-out story might be a saga. And to act on prompting from someone would be to take a cue from? Yeah, a cue is a prompt. So if you act on someone's cue, you're sort of acting on their prompt. You take a cue from them. You act on prompting from them. And again, that from is applied to both. Suffix with block, a blockade in a military context, maybe. So, yeah, I don't want to say sad eyes, maybe. Don't think I'd know this song. Maybe I'd recognize it if I heard it. I'm not sure. But just based on the lyrics, sad eyes seems like it could be the answer. Oh yeah, and then like diner food stereotypically would be greasy, and diners are often even called greasy spoons. So yeah, I bet that's the answer here. Oh, cycle. Oh, the water cycle or something like that. Yeah, that. Oh, right, because that's yes, ocean to vapor to cloud to rain. Is it back to ocean then again? Right, it's this sort of cycle of water kind of through these various states in an ecological context. So, um, I don't know. River? Oh, river. That's something. The river. That's a poker term. River card. Right. Okay. And that makes the full cycle. So then it falls into the river. The river then flows, it drains into the ocean. So there's the full water cycle there. Great. Okay, boy, don't think I've heard the phrase or thought about the concept of the water cycle since I was, in early primary school, probably. I don't know. But anyway, there we have it. All right. Tennis great Nadal, Rafael Nadal, Rafa, I think also known by that name. Monastery hoods would be monks' cowls, and project for the Army Corps of Engineers, a levy to bulwark against water. Maybe as a result of the water cycle, maybe a levee on the river, perhaps. All right, Sesame Street rating, that would be TVG. I don't remember all the television ratings, but I think there's a G for general audiences. Oh, no, maybe not. Maybe it's E for everyone. In a foxy fashion, slyly. TVY for young? Boy, I do not know the TV ratings, as you can see. It must be TVY, I guess, because in a foxy fashion would be slyly. I mean, that makes sense. So a slithering swimmer is an eel. There we go. Simple enough. And Earl Grey tea. There we go. There's another sort of eponymous thing. Speaking of eponyms, which we had elsewhere in the puzzle. There we go. Keystone State eponym. Oh, and right underneath that is another eponymous name. Earl Grey. There we go. All right. Anyway, this really does look like sad eyes, doesn't it? Capital of Italy, the euro. Right. So my first thought was, oh, it's not sad eyes because this would be Rome. But then I thought, but Rome doesn't have a U in it either. No, it's the capital in the sense of the money, the currency used in Italy as a member state of the European Union, and more specifically the Eurozone. It is a euro using country. All right, some 35 millimeter cameras in brief would be SLRs, single lens reflex cameras. We had that recently. And Michelle of Everything Everywhere All at Once, Michelle Yao, she put in a really unbelievably beautiful performance in that film. And then Get Together informally would be a session. Okay, let's look at these. Ooh, that's embarrassing. Groan or grimace or something, I'm not sure. The brackets mean we're probably going to be cluing something as a sound as opposed to sort of verbal words. Social dance in 3/4 time. A waltz? A what? I'm not sure. Sidesteps. If one sidesteps something, one avoids it or averts it. I mean, avert is more preventing something than sidestepping it, so I think maybe avoids is better. Oh, but you know what? We could also say evades. I think evades is even better as sidesteps. You evaded something. You kind of got out of the way. I like that better. What about this? Many an ancient statue. An idol? Maybe it is. Oh, no, never mind. I was going to say maybe it is avoids, but idol wouldn't cross with that either. Well, I still don't know if this is evades then. Will of the Waltons. Ooh, I don't know. I don't think I've ever actually seen the Waltons. I'm not sure. Online marketplace since 2005. Probably Etsy, the marketplace ostensibly for handmade goods. And then barrel maker is a beer something, maybe beer barrels. Brewery. Yeah, okay, I was on the right track with that. There we go. And it's ironic that it's fortunate for me that it fit because I was thinking beer because of the BEER, and then it was related to beer, but not with that actual word. Anyway, there we go. Slangy summons. Come here, maybe? CMERE, come here. That's a bit of a slangy way to summon someone. You've contracted come here. Big name in combines, right? So sort of combine harvester, farm equipment. John Deere is that company. So there we go. If you're venerating someone, you're in awe of them. And then, ooh, that's embarrassing. Oh, cringe. There we go. So in this case, I think it's not that you're saying the word cringe, it's that you are actually cringing. You're making a sort of cringing expression, and that's what the brackets are doing there. Although these days, people do actually sometimes just literally say cringe. All right. I guess that's probably because of the influence of being online, sort of spelling out what you'd be doing, and then that just turns into people literally just using that word. All right. Many an ancient statue. Right. Oh, nude. Oh, right. Okay. I was trying to think of, I don't know. I was trying to think of a sort of specific category of being or something, but this is a sort of general state that a person being depicted in a statue can be, which is nude, which is true. Many ancient statues were that. All right, there we go. So social dance in 3/4 time, a minuet. There we go. That would be in 3/4 time means 3 beats to the measure. So, like a waltz, bum, 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 that. Anyway, minuet, and then Will of the Waltons, Will Gear. I don't recognize this name at all. I hope it's correct. It is. All right, there we go. I think this was relatively gentle for a Wednesday puzzle, or at least sort of in the average zone. It wasn't particularly tricky for a Wednesday, although there were some things that I feel fortunate to have guessed, like Rainmaker and Sad Eyes, which cross one another, and neither of these was in my kind of active knowledge, but I was pleased to be able to infer those. And then Water Cycle, here's our theme. Let's go over it. We have, our theme answers are Ocean Spray, Vaporware, Cloud9, Rainmaker, and River Card. But the relevant part here is that to the water cycle, they contribute ocean to vapor to cloud to rain to river, which would then cycle back to the ocean. And an ecological process continues. And there we go. It's sort of a fun thing to be reminded of that I haven't thought about in this particular form anyway for a very long time. And there we go. That was the Wednesday crossword. Hope you enjoyed it. I'll be back tomorrow, of course, with the Thursday crossword with a much trickier theme potentially. Anyway, more involved in some way. Join me then. But until that point, please do have an excellent remainder of your Wednesday. Take care.